Light FM. It must have been love. The rest of it we've got Pepto-Bismol for. We're at 8:39 now, 21 here before 9. Advisory services offered through Second Half Financial Partners, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments are appropriate for you, please consult with a financial advisor. Second Half Financial Partners, LLC does not provide tax or legal advice. Please consult your tax or legal advisor regarding your particular situation. And Legal Beagle means it's time to double check in on your money up in Wall Street with the help of our financial advisor, Philip Statler from Statler Financial Services in downtown Sebring. Philip, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, Dave. Hey, good to be here. Great weekend this past weekend. I know I was out yesterday, but I was in the office working, believe me. But it was got to see some FSU baseball, some FSU softball. It was a great weekend.
Woohoo! I didn't realize that you were doing a sports junkie trip. That's great. We're into the spring sports. It gets fun in the process. This is the time that I drive my cat crazy because when the NCAA golf tournament shows up on the Golf Channel, I enjoy watching those kids. They're a lot closer to my ability than the pros are, and I can actually learn something in the process. So I kind of enjoy spring sports. Backing up to what we're supposed to be talking about, call it a mixed bag yesterday. The blue chips gained 0.3%, so Dow is up by 160 points. Everybody else dropped off. The S&P down by about 5.5, NASDAQ down by 134 points, and the Russell 2000 got the majority by going down 0.6 of a point yesterday. I got to believe it was a combination of, we were talking about this beforehand, the chip sell-off, because chip stocks, they're just taking profits like it's going out of style. But add on to that, holy crud, if you're an interest rate sensitive business, looking at 10-year Treasury bonds past 4.61%, and you're watching the 30s, and that's not looking very good either, is it?
No, it's not, Dave. I mean, 30s, which that, remember, affects mortgage holders, or those people getting ready to buy a house and need a mortgage. It's up to 5.15. I'm trying to remember how long it's been since I've seen it that high.
I think they were talking yesterday, and it was below that. That was a good 3-year high for it. And I mean, we haven't seen rates like that in eons comparatively for that. And that's not good for the corporate bonds that the interest-sensitive stocks end up issuing. And it kind of puts a clamp down on the markets in general. You had an interesting tidbit, and it was something that they were threatening a while ago about Chinese holdings on our bonds. I gather they're kind of carrying through on their threat to sell us off, huh?
It seems to be that way, Dave. From what I gathered and reading some articles, the China is down to an 18-year low in holding our treasuries. Meaning they got the least amount they've ever had in the last 18 years. And that's not good because that means they're selling them off or they're not renewing them when they come due. Either way, that's not helping our interest rate situation either.
Absolutely. And got to remember, interest rates on bonds are a supply and demand thing. If you can't get the full value on them, the price goes down, and that means the yield goes up. So that's increased pressure upward on our interest rates, even if our challenges with inflation are get licked. Nobody wants to buy our bonds. We got to pay more for them. It's just simple supply and demand, isn't it?
That's right. And then remember, if we have to pay people more to take them, then that means our interest payments have gone up substantially. And hey, how do we pay our bills? Taxes. So ultimately, taxes will end up having to go up to help pay those bills.
Absolutely. It's a relatively slow week as far as government data dump is concerned. We're going to get the Open Market Committee minutes tomorrow afternoon about 2 p.m. I was kind of surmising yesterday that could be an interesting thing to watch. Number one, I think they had 4 written dissents on the last interest rate decision. Plus, with the changing of the guard now with the new chairman of the Fed, we might be looking at that one pretty carefully, including what Paulson actually said behind closed doors. It could be an interesting set of minutes to read, couldn't it?
It could very well be, Dave. I know we got pending home sales come out today at 10 o'clock. That'll be a kind of a clue on how real estate's going, as well as on Thursday we got our jobless claims, obviously, but we also get the housing starts and the housing building permits as well.
Which, in a day of increasing mortgage rates, are going to be a little bit more of a market mover than it normally would be, I suspect. Tidbits out this morning. Elon Musk sued OpenAI when they decided they wanted to be a profit-making company. Elon said, I'm the only one supposed to be making money in this business. He sued. He lost, which I kind of looked at it and said, this might be the most specious lawsuit I've ever heard of in corporate America. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's I kind of get an understanding of what he was dealing with and what he was trying to focus on is that, the initial reaction was it was supposed to be a not for profit. Obviously, to grow it, it had to become more profitable. And so I think he's going to lose out on that deal.
He did. The court ruled unanimously against him, said, Elon, you're full of beans. On other Elon Musk stuff, this I get a kick out of. They haven't even had the IPO yet, but SpaceX has reportedly issued a 5-for-1 stock split even before the IPO begins. Now, that's optimism, isn't it?
Well, yeah, they're trying to bring that stock price down for the IPO, probably, as far as I can tell. But let's remember that there's a lot of investors invested in SpaceX. It's just not a publicly traded company. There's a lot of venture capitalists that have invested in SpaceX. And so that's, they're trying to get it ready for that IPO deal.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt whatsoever that Elon Musk generally knows what he's doing. He's a truly strange dude, but there's no doubt that he knows what he's doing at the very least. Talking about AI-related stuff, Goldman Sachs put out something this morning saying they expect artificial intelligence is likely to widen the gulf between big companies and small. If you thought your little small startup was going to be more profitable with artificial intelligence, at least one of the big brokerage firms thinks, no, it's just going to make the big ones easier to beat you.
Well, that's true because they got the money to invest in the AI that needs to be done to help operate the company, where the little guys doesn't have the capital.
Yeah, we're not going to make it using the chat bot on our cell phones with ChatGPT. That's not what they had in mind with artificial intelligence.
No, that doesn't get it. You got to go to the kind of more of the Anthropic deal, Claude, and those iterations that can actually run systems.
Absolutely. Earnings season is continuing, and I understand that we are talking about housing starts and building permits and everything. This one's got to be affected by those numbers. How did Home Depot do last quarter?
Home Depot sales and profit beat expectations, not by much. I mean, 2 cents on earnings, $3.43. Revenue slightly above expectations. They were up earlier this morning, but they've lost the wind out of their sail there. They're down almost 0.9% this morning.
Was it guidance?
It does not say. I'm not sure. It doesn't. My small report doesn't give me any clue right now.
Something like a rising tide lifts all boats and a declining tide drops them down too, I'd wager, right?
And I would think that's probably more than anything, what it is. I mean, it did not beat the market. It did not beat expectations substantially. So it's just kind of floating with the tide right now.
Okay. Any other indications this morning?
I don't have much else out there. I'm trying to see. No, there's really nothing else out there from companies that we know anything about.
No, all righty. In that case, let's reset the table. Mixed bag yesterday. Blue chips up, the interest rate sensitive stocks and the techs off yesterday, 45 minutes before we opened today. What are we looking at?
Well, Dave, we got red ink to start today, it looks like. The Dow is down about 0.2%. S&P 500 is down about 0.3%, and the NASDAQ 100 down a little over 0.5% right now. Again, that's, I think the chip stocks are weighing on that again today. The Russell 2000 down a little over 0.4%. On the other side of the coin, we got silver down 1.25%, gold's down 1/3%, Crude oil down almost 1% this morning, but still awful daggum high. $103.35 a barrel. I saw gas today, Dave, 4.59 a gallon. That just hurts.
Oh, poop. I'm down to about a quarter tank. I got to gas up today or tomorrow. I was saying when you told me that, though, that's good news because my delayed quote had the price of oil is about 108. So at the very least, it's trending in a productive direction. Overseas markets, the Asian rim markets generally fairly optimistic. Japan fell by about 0.5% overnight, but by and large, the rest of the Asian rim markets up. The two mainland Chinese markets up, on average, about 0.75%. Europe also just a tinge more optimistic this morning. Everybody's in the green. The average European index up about 0.75% halfway through their trading day. They must know something we don't, Philip. How do I get a hold of you to analyze all this?
Dave, planning takes the risk a little bit out of the market. It gives you more confidence. Give us a call at 863-382-0037 to help put together that plan so you can have the retirement you always dreamed of. And then join us this weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk, 7:30 a.m. and 95.3 FM.
And newstalk730am.com, where we stream everything too. Have a great day, my friend, and I'll catch you tomorrow, all right?
All right, take care.
Thank you. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services. Philip Statler.
Hey, folks, good to be back with you today. I hope you're going well. Join us again tomorrow. Until then, have a great day. Bye now.